While you cannot control the direction of the stock market, there are actions you can take to improve your investment portfolio. Today, we're going to discuss the 5 things to do in a bear market, and these are the things we're discussing with our clients right now. Stay tuned. Hey there, it's Alex and Anthony from 1 Degree Advisors, and if you're new here, we are certified financial planners that help folks with all things tax, retirement, and investment related. So Anthony, being in a bear market, it has a lot of people worried. A lot of people feel like things are out of control. And so today we're talking about, listen, we can't necessarily control the overall direction of the market, but there are actions that we can take right now to improve the investments. And so the first thing we want to talk about here, and we're going to get into all 5, but the first thing is tax loss harvesting.
Right. Nobody likes losses in their investment portfolio, but they're part of the cycle. And specifically when we're talking about a non-retirement account, taxable account, taking losses can help to save taxes overall. And so by taking a loss, we can either offset other gains. Mm-hmm. The IRS allows us to offset regular income or ordinary income up to $3,000. And then if you still have losses beyond those 2 things, you can carry those losses forward.
Now, I think it's important to remember as well, when we look at tax loss harvesting with our clients, it's actually not something you want to do like blanket across the board just for everyone blindly. And I think that's where a lot of people get this like mistaken and they get this wrong, is they go, well, every year I've got to constantly be harvesting losses. It can actually lead to like worse performance or worse tax performance if you're doing that. Really, you should be looking at, in this specific year, or maybe some things that might be coming up, am I going to have a situation where tax loss harvesting makes a lot of sense? If you're someone in a low tax bracket, and you have a long time to grow, tax loss harvesting might actually be like a negative impact for you. So you got to know what you're doing and make sure you do it the right way. The second thing here is reallocate and basically replacing what you don't want.
Yeah, so I was just doing this for a client the other day. There were certain investments that they had that were highly appreciated. We didn't necessarily want them in the portfolio, but to sell them would be a major tax hit. There was no red flags necessarily with the investments, but by taking some other losses, we were able to also sell those particular holdings at a gain, offset them, reallocate the portfolio, get it closer to where we wanted. Yeah. And in the end, it's more tax efficient going forward.
And this is and this is especially in like taxable accounts, like a brokerage account. Yeah. This is what happens over time, over the years. Like you sometimes get a client that comes to you and they got what I call like a Frankenstein portfolio. There's just all these things that kind of just bolted on over the years, but it's like I can't do anything with it because if I try and change these investments, it's going to create a tax bomb. So years like this year where markets are down can present an opportunity to strategically just fine tune and update the portfolio, which is a good thing. The third thing here is rebalancing, which is just a fancy way of saying getting your investment plan back to target.
That's right. And it's just resetting the plan. So in early 2021, for instance, when we were rebalancing, it was really taking some profits off the table from stocks and resetting them towards more conservative assets in order to keep that plan in place. Now you go into 2022 where stocks are down more significantly. Rebalancing, what it'll tend to do is take from the more stable assets and then move into those assets that are at a deficit within our plan, which are typically like the equity type investments like stocks.
Yeah. Now, the fourth thing here, and again, some of this has to do with or a lot of these things have to do with taxes, but the fourth thing here is a Roth conversion, which again, for a lot of people can be really, really powerful.
Right. And so we'll put this simple illustration up on the screen here, and you can see that in the dips, that's where you really want to take advantage of Roth conversions if it makes sense. This is not a blanket recommendation for everybody. You have to really look at your individual financial and tax plan. But the time to do it is when it's low. And here's why, is because when you convert traditional IRA money over to a Roth, which is tax-free, right, is the time that you do it, it's taxable. It's a taxable event. If I move $10,000 over to a Roth, I'm paying taxes on that $10,000. Yep. Well, you want to do it while the value is low, so that way it can recover in the Roth IRA and that growth is tax-free.
The way I like to think about this as well is like, it's almost like you're converting more shares
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
like now my shares aren't worth as much. So I can convert $100 shares over into my Roth and actually pay less tax. So when the market eventually recovers, I get more of that rubber band effect in my Roth conversions. Of course, the other thing we have to be careful of with Roth conversions is not just like your tax brackets, but there are those sneaky taxes that a lot of people don't think about, like Medicare premiums, which is really important for retirees.
It really does take some more planning. It's not as simple as just a percentage that you put all the way across the board. We produced a video on Roth conversions. We'll post that as well.
Absolutely. The fifth thing here is, honestly, if stocks are down, it may not be a bad time to buy more growth assets like stocks.
Yeah, a lot of times people can think of this more in like the real estate realm as like, hey, if that house down the street goes on sale, if it's down 20% from where it's at today, like I'd love to buy it as a rental because we can see it. It's right in front of us. Within an investment portfolio, it can be the same, right? Is stocks might go down. If I can buy them on sale for 20 or 30% and know that I have a long-term time frame with that, it's a better time to buy. We're not going to time the market perfectly.
But that's the hard part about all this is there's a reason why stocks are 20 to 30% off their highs. And so people go, well, now's not a good time to buy.
Right.
Look at all these situations.
Right. And when we get carried away with like, oh, I got to be perfect with it, I got to buy it at the exact bottom, it's probably not going to work. You have to have, where in this situation, great is the enemy of good. Usually it's the other way around. It's just when they're down on sale, adding a little bit, but you also have to pay attention to the risk. We're not saying be extreme with it, move all your portfolio over to growth.
Well, and that's, again, where a good advisor can help you walk through all these scenarios to say, like, what does make sense for you and what would I consider, right? If I was in your shoes, right? I'm a fiduciary. I'm going to do what I believe is best for you. Here's what I would recommend. So, you might consider something like that. So again, to recap all these 5 topics, again, tax loss harvesting, it can make sense based upon your specific situation. Number 2, which is reallocating and replacing maybe what you don't want. Again, it can be a good time to update the portfolio. Number 3, rebalancing, which is getting your plan back to the target. Number 4, Roth conversions. Again, a great tax planning strategy. It doesn't make sense for everyone, but for some people, it can have a massive impact. And then number 5, like, hey, if you have the opportunity to buy some stocks while they're down, and if it makes sense within the context of your plan, now's not a bad time to do it.
Right, and don't make these implementations in a vacuum.
Yes.
You do them all within the context of a plan, looking at the big picture.
Absolutely. And now let us know what you think. What are you doing to take advantage of the bear market? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.